Welcome back to NR International. You now rocking with Philly's finest, Mr. Make It Rain, Noah Rainey, and
Flawless Flaw. Peace, love.
we were just talking on how to raise our youth right. Because unfortunately, we live in a city where our kids is running reckless, and that's just the reality of it. Like we have so many different issues within the city of Philadelphia, especially the fact that you have so many kids that's adopted, foster care, some just living out of bandos, and I mean, really, a lot of kids just need love. So I feel as though we gotta, especially as the men, we have to be able to do as many of the people of the past used to, which is you gotta take people, the youngins, underneath your wing, because some of them don't have fathers. Some of their fathers are in the penitentiaries for life. And if they're not there for life, then they're there for, say, the majority of their childhood. So we got to take it upon ourselves, if we're there, to be an example. And that's what goes back to what I was saying about being strong men, showing strong values, being strong examples for others to see. Right? As women, I would say it's the same thing. Whereas many of us are raising daughters. So that means that it has to be a strong female presence more than what people are seeing. And that means that we gotta sometimes shake that youthful mentality and be able to show that womanhood so that the girls can grow up to be women. At a certain age, we gotta say, all right, well, it's not cool right now to twerk unless you want to be in a certain place to twerk. Let's not do this everywhere, though.
Everybody twerk.
But just learning how to conduct yourself, like, period.
Right.
I believe that women are the first nurturers, the first examples of teachers and of love.
Mm-hmm.
And so by that comes a big responsibility.
In
Despite frustration, despite, selfishness.
in Arabic, you have the word The word means mother. You can't have a nation, which means ummah, without the mother. It's the mother that raises the nation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But these women don't know how to be mothers. They don't know how to be girls because, listen, this is me personally, and I'm not taking a shot at anybody.
and
Shout out to Buck, you know what I'm saying, for coming.
And I would like to
out.
introduce
Yes.
Buck Wild, comedian Buck Wild, Buck Wild 215. Make sure y'all follow him. Step into
Thank
the
you.
building.
Welcome. Me. Thank you. No, I was
I'm here.
listening and I was being, I wanted to be selective and very careful with what I put out in the universe because I just told them, I just gave them some good news that I'm about to be a grandfather. My daughter's 26, she's pregnant. And I was trying to tell her, listen, man, you got to step up. Like, when you do this, when you had this child, it's you. It's nobody else, it's you. You got to be a mother. You got to be a good neighbor. You got to be a good role model. You got to exemplify your definition of your character and raise your child right. Because a lot of times I meet a lot of women, man, and they was molested at a young age, like that R. Kelly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very touchy.
Absolutely.
Touchy. Like I damn near got booed last week because I was like, the difference between Richard, Bill. I said Bill Cosby ain't got shit on R. Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside looking in,
Mm-hmm.
like what he was alleged of doing and what he was found guilty of doing,
Right.
the pills and R. Kelly actually manipulating people with
Minors.
and doing paperwork at 14.
Yeah.
Then I had a Christian boy say, well, damn, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he married at the age of boom, 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 boom. I'm like, but that's a different time. That's over 1400 years ago. He's like, but
And I think in the first year they didn't.
accepted.
yeah, but it wasn't socially accepted. My grandma was married at 13. Her first baby was at 14. But that was that time. But the parents knew. But we talk about a situation where the parents didn't know.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then how many of them had Aaliyah?
Yeah.
Aaliyah went through Dame Hove. No, Nas. No, like me. It's like
we
What?
we definitely respected
You
that,
better,
though.
yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
really got to do your homework on that. And then what about Jay-Z? Like, he was dating Beyonce or certain stuff. That's why Jay-Z ain't get on the documentary and talk about certain
Yeah,
stuff.
she
But
was
a lot of
16 when she
times-
first came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Y'all look at that.
she
Like,
was- I mean, she was
16. She was just turning 18.
They was saying all that. When she
Yeah.
probably was 14. No, you really don't know.
Absolutely.
My wife, God knows best.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say that a lot of women out here right now, like I opened the door for some chick just coming in, and this was funny. And I was like, here you go. She's like, no, I got it. I'm like, damn, chivalry ain't there with me.
Right.
Like, where's it? It's so fucked up out here that you can't even open a door for a woman or give her a compliment without her being offended.
Nasty.
You see what I'm saying? Because this Me Too movement is going too fucking far, and this gay shit is going too far. Whereas though
Way
you
too
can't
far.
have the freedom of speech is your First Amendment, but they celebrate the Fifth more than the First. The right to bear arms.
Well, that's the
And
second.
That's the
women-
second.
That's the
Oh, that's the second, but
Yeah, I'm about to say the fifth is what people need to plead and stop snitching.
yeah, stop snitching. Yeah, but I say all to say, the WO has been taken off the woman name, so they just run around like they men,
Well, I think the problem is that
and they don't know how to put the damn WO back on when
women
they
are
get a man.
forced to. Sorry, women are forced to. Am I still alive? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We still
Women-
on here.
Women are forced to play a dual role
Mhm.
because our men are either incarcerated, as we mentioned earlier,
Gay.
or they're dead,
Mhm.
or
Or
gay.
gay.
Mhm.
So when you put a woman in a position where she's the head of the household, it's a whole different dynamic. The psyche of everybody in the household is going to change. You know what I mean? Because mom is, she's out of the house most of the time and she's making all the decisions, and a lot of her decisions are, emotionally based. You know what I mean? So it's different factors that we have to look at. And then also, too, women are tired. What Tupac say, it's time to heal our women, be real to our women.
Real to our women.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of women are just really hurting. And again, hurt people. So they're
Mhm.
having these children and they're hurting and they don't know where to turn.
Sure.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, like back in the day, when you had your child, your mom was right there. That's no longer really happening. You know what I mean? You have so many young women saying, I don't speak to my mom, or I ran away, or my grandparents are raising me, or my aunt is raising me.
It
You know
becomes
what I mean?
a female collision, like.
Because you're
But
gonna
that,
be
that,
outside.
that happens at the same time when it comes down to young boys and men too. Like you can't be two kings of the castle sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Islamically, when I married a woman and her son is of a certain age, he got to go with his father, because we'd be battling for attention with his mother for him as a child, and me with my wife. But people I say that to say the WO has been taken off the women name, and y'all don't know how to put it back on. So they
But-
run around here doing everything that niggas should be doing, opening up the cars, getting their gas, going doing this, paying all their bills. So when you get a man to open the door, tell you beautiful, or say, let me pump your car and get the gas, let me get that, I don't need that, and they don't know how to put it back on. And they forced to be that.
Well, listen, right? You ever take notice that usually when being referred to, I'm a strong black woman. I'm a strong, but no one else puts strong before their race. You don't hear people saying, I'm a strong white woman. I'm a strong Asian woman. I'm a strong.
Where they come from?
It's pushed through society. Everything is engineered to separate, divide, and conquer, and also to empower the woman. But if you notice, just by saying black woman, you're saying strong woman. By saying black woman, you're saying powerful woman.
It's more powerful to say I'm a strong woman.
It's
you're
way
saying-
more
you're
powerful.
You're saying
Like-
the way that they saying it, it might be denoting that they might be feeling as though black is weak, and that's how you're saying it. Like they're saying that strong black woman as though like other women that's black might be considered as weak, but I'm a strong one.
Not necessarily. I'm just saying that
I just wanna
it's
make
not
sure I
even
understand.
necessary to say a strong black woman,
You only gotta
because
say
you're
black.
you're
You
saying
say
the
a
same
strong
thing
woman.
twice.
Yeah.
You feel
It's
me?
more
You're saying the
effective.
same
It's
thing.
more
Okay,
strong.
okay, understood. And well, I got online. Somebody just mentioned that She thinks that your opinion was one-sided. She said sometimes when you don't know any better, how can you do better? She
She said my opinion?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one I said?
She said
About
your mother
women.
and father is your role model to who to become and who to look for. If your parents didn't teach you or show you a good path, so she's pretty much saying the same
which
thing
one?
that I was saying, which is like
What women don't know
we
how to
need
do.
we need to make sure that we have good examples.
Oh, to empower
We
them?
got to make sure that because what happens is that like again, most of these kids are running around raising themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard, and I'm saying that from personal experience. I've taken neighborhood kids from my block, kids from my neighborhood who most of their fathers have done time, still doing time, got life sentences. Thank God they have the opportunity because they caught those sentences when they were juveniles. They had the opportunity to come home now.
To come back.
But it's like I'm big uncle now. You know what I'm saying? I'm their uncle because they didn't have nobody else as adults to be there and to show them anything in regards to manhood. So they were raising themselves. And you got a block full of women that's pretty much just says don't get locked up and don't get killed, but survive.
Yeah, because they got the Willie Lynch
Syndrome.
syndrome that they got that was from the Willie Lynch letter. Where you get the buck. That's where the buck come from, the young bucks.
Right.
They would go to the islands, Jamaica. This is why the homosexuality is not socially accepted in Jamaica. Let me explain. The
Yep,
Willie Lynch
but-
letter came from How to Break a Nigga. He was trying to teach
Right.
other white plantation work owners how to get control of their niggas. He went over there to the islands. He raped men in front of other men. The strongest man, the strongest young buck that was wilding out, he'd fuck them right in their ass in front of all with his baby mom and everybody, his kids, his brothers and sisters, and rape them. Then get a horse to get one leg and the other leg, and then smack the horse and rip them apart. So now, while your mom is pregnant, what will happen? It would breed into the baby fear, and she will always push the daughters out and hold the boys. And that's what women do now. They hold their babies. That's my son. That's my son. No, you gotta let your son be a man. You gotta and it reverse. So the women are going out doing all the jobs because the women was trying to protect their young bucks because she knew what would happen.
That
And
this
some
society
women-
will not care for them. This society will try their best to break them. This society will try their best to make sure that they don't survive. And this is a reality. And that goes back to what I was saying. Like, unfortunately, this society is still demasculating us. Like, we have an issue right now where they're speaking on the news and saying that you have toxic masculinity. And it's like, how can you have
What?
toxic masculinity when being a man is all that I know? Being a man, being masculine, this comes from my nature. This isn't something which is, it becomes toxic, I guess, when you're trying to say that, well, the feminine side is not for masculinity. So
My
now
thing is
that
there's
becomes
a balance. Everything
contrast.
was created, in the universal harmony, in the universal balance. We have male and masculine energy and female energy for
Yin and
a
yang.
reason. Exactly.
And the woman was created from the rib of the man.
Mhm.
So when you try to break a woman, in actuality, you're breaking
breaking
yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now let's go back.
And a lot of women, what I wanted to say to piggyback off of what Buck Wild was saying is that some women are raising their sons only to love them. They're not showing that man how to cope when he's angry. They're not showing him how to have a family and be a leader of that family and how to have that same reverence and love and respect that you have for me as your mother to your wife, you know. A lot of these men, they're mama's boys. And women are only going to be as strong as the men.
Right. I mean, it was
In
said
every
even in the
society,
19 it
like
was said
if
in
the men were
1930s.
strong, the behind every strong man, there's a strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's a strong man, then the woman will be strong. But because men are so weak, and we're dealing with, homosexuality and things of that nature, so the women are weak. It's
Right.
not an excuse, but it's just being aware
So
of
who we
what
gonna
we're
blame it on?
dealing with.
The men are being
But wait a
weak or the-
second. I was trying to
Yeah.
let's not necessarily take the let's
Yeah.
not go the blame route, but
We
rearing
just
and
need to-
cultivating the youth. How do
Right.
we do this properly? Back to all right. Here's
Right.
all the problems. We know there's a lot of problems. How can we
How do we
come
fix
up
it?
exactly?
Well,
Where's
we
the
talked about
solutions
we
here?
talked right. Let's be
Like,
solution oriented
finding
people, right?
where the child is hurting, where the youth is hurting. And I believe that the key is understanding the individual, because it starts with home. Your mother, your father. Anyone whom is under that roof is your first teachers. So if they are being attentive and learning you as you learn yourself, then and instilling good morals and integrity in you and allowing you to develop and grow, then everyone can become on the same accord in figuring out, well, what is it that you can succeed in? What is it that you like? Okay, well, let's fund. Let's do business with family. A lot of people and a lot of sayings are, oh, well, don't mix family and business. And you look at a lot of other cultures and see how
Corporations
It's
owned by
only
entire
family.
families. Exactly. Look at the Rothschilds. Look at the Bilderbergs. Look at the I'm gonna keep
Rockefellers. Like,
Rockefellers.
Remember how we
Yeah.
had
The real
black,
Rockefellers.
remember how we had black captains? Like
still
that
do.
person
We still
who
do.
looks out for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you seen somebody's child acting up, you know it takes a village to raise children. And if you seen Mrs. Jones and you was doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing, you was out. Because you knew Mrs. Jones was going to tell your mom, and then you was going to get your behind beat. So I think we're in this in today's time, we're afraid to chastise someone else's child. You want to know why? Because that parent might come up and say, "Oh, don't be talking to my child." You know what I mean? This type of way, and may even bring a handgun. Right, and everything is everybody taking their phones out and so on and so forth. So I think it's the matter of the education level. Having more counselors in the school, being able to recognize signs of anxiety and depression and being withdrawn and so on and so forth. So we need to have those people there even as volunteers. You know what I mean? What agencies can we reach out to and ask them, can they volunteer so that we can get a coalition going to go in these schools and take an hour or two and just meet with the fifth graders, you know what I mean, or the third graders on up, you know what I mean, and just take that time and actually just try to assess them. Because what about the children who are dying from suicide? And suicide is the 10th leading cause of death. So either these children are being killed by other children, or they're being caught in the crossfire because there's some crap that the adult got going on, or where they don't want to live. So we need to get into these schools. We need to come up with some type of strategy on how we're going to save our children. And the first thing that I could think of is maybe reaching out to some psychologists or some social workers and things of that nature, and asking them would they be willing to volunteer some of their time and just start a movement. Because unfortunately the adults we're jacked up. You know what I mean? We got issues beyond issues. And so now it's time to put our focus on these children, because it's horrible. It's horrible. And unfortunately, we don't find out what's going on until it's a death. You know what I mean? So it's like, we need to try to be preventative, you know what I mean? And figure out what we're going to do. So any other ideas on what we can do? I say reach out to different organizations and see if we can get them to do some volunteer work, to go into these, literally walk into these schools and say, we need to assess these children from first grade on up, kindergarten on up. You know what I mean?
Let's continue this conversation. For all those who tune on to the live, make sure that you continue to send us your thoughts, send us your comments. For those who tune into the YouTube, make sure you send us your comments. For all those who here, make sure you get with us and call in live 215-881-3664. We're going to continue this conversation. But for now, let's get to the next music on the playlist.
I mean, Nas is one of the greatest. Can we get a chance? Woo! Chance. I mean, the echo of life is the echo of love, and the echo of love is the echo from above. And some people, they don't even really know what they're doing. God damn.
blowing.
That's a good thing.
I wish I was married. I'm messed up.
So